They said 450 horsepower. The magazine said mid-13s on skinny bias-plies. And for one wild American year, the Chevelle SS 454 LS6 turned Main Street into pit lane. This is the story of Chevy's one-year street sledgehammer, why it existed, why it vanished, and why the legend only gets louder. Welcome to Car Swag. Hit subscribe and let's start. Comment below, what car would you like to see next? It's 1970, peak horsepower war. Insurance is getting mean, regulations are tightening, but for a brief moment, the leash slips. Chevrolet drops the SS 454 package on the Chevelle, and sitting at the top of that mountain is RPO LS6, 454 cubic inches with race hardware swagger and a rating that reads like a dare. Under the Cowl induction hood lives the reason this car still stops conversations. The LS6 is pure intent. Big block displacement, over 11-to-1 compression, a solid lifter cam that turns idle into a nervous tick, rectangular port heads breathing through an aluminum high-rise intake, and an 800 CFM Holley. At wide open throttle, the cowl door snaps open and feeds cold air straight to the carb. Hook it to a Muncie 4-speed, many buyers chose the Rock Crusher M22, and you get that unmistakable whine that says the drivetrain is built to take a punch. Out back, a 12-bolt posi, aggressive gear sets, and suspension that's heavier duty than the badges let on. Disc brakes up front, stance just right, and enough torque to rotate the earth a few degrees. Numbers? Chevy said 450 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, 500 pound-feet at 3,600. That's SAE gross, measured on an engine stand with no accessories, open exhaust, perfect conditions. On the street, the LS6 didn't care what the test protocol was called. Contemporary testers were ripping 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds and quarter miles in the 13.4 to 13.8 range. Bone stock, street tires, full interior, full attitude. The soundtrack is half the experience. A solid lifter cackle, the Holley secondaries barking, and the cowl flap flicking open like a camera shutter every time your right foot makes a decision. What makes the LS6 so compelling isn't just speed, it's purpose. You feel the engineering choices through the wheel. The solid lifters give the idol a little lope, but they also give the car that elastic top-end rush past $5,000. The heads are built for flow, the intake is winter cast aluminum, a piece of race hardware pretending to be a street manifold. The chassis is old-school A-body stout. You can feel the rear axle squat and the nose rise when you feed in clutch and throttle. It is not delicate, it is not polite. It is the kind of car that makes you recalibrate what fast felt like in 1970 and still feels honest in 2025. And yet the LS6 is here and gone in a flash. Why? Pressure from every direction. Emissions rules are biting, unleaded fuel is coming, insurance rates are punishing anything with strikes, and manufacturers are bracing for a new rating standard. In 1971, compression ratios drop across the industry. By 1972, the switch to SAE net horsepower, measured with accessories, full exhaust, makes the numbers fall on paper and in reality. The LS6 doesn't return to the Chevelle. The meteor has already lit the sky. Rarity adds another layer to the myth. Production totals for LS6 Chevelles hover in the mid-4,000s across body styles, scarce for a mass-market Chevy, and genuine convertibles are unicorn rare. Survivors with documentation are the coins that serious collectors chase, and when a well-restored LS6 convertible crosses the block, the room still leans forward. We've seen them crest the six-figure mark easily, and the best examples have pushed well past that, proof that one model year can define an entire legend. If you're shopping or just playing spot the real one at a show, there are tells. Documentation is king. Build sheet, protecto plate, original engine pad stampings. On the pad, suffix codes like CRV point to an LS6 with a 4-speed. Automatics carry different suffixes. Look for the Z15 SS 454 package on paperwork and the ZL2 Cowl induction option if the car has the functional hood. Check the 12-bolt axle code against the build sheet. The details matter because the clones are good, and the price gap between a well-done Tribute and a documented LS6 is measured in houses. Living with one? It's a high-compression, solid-cam, big block. Feed it the best pump gas you can find, keep timing conservative if you're on 91, and use an octane booster or mix when needed. Solid lifters want periodic lash checks. That ritual is part of the character. Run good oil, wash the temps, and don't be afraid of gearing. These cars wake up with the right ratio. The reward is a car that feels alive at every throttle angle, a machine that makes back roads short and gas stations memorable.
Beyond the stats, the LS6's grip on car culture comes down to truth in advertising. Chevrolet rated it big, and it delivered bigger. It was the right car at the ragged edge of freedom, when Detroit was still building engines that sounded like ambition. The Chevelle SS 454 LS6 is a thesis statement written in cast iron and aluminum. Simple, brutal, fast. One model year, one legend. If you're into this kind of no-fluff deep dive storytelling on the cars that still move the needle, hit subscribe to the channel and stick around. We've got more myths to test, more facts to set straight.